Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Alaska Virtual College Fair. Thank you for joining us. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. And this is just one of many different sessions happening, so be sure to sign up for additional sessions. This presentation is being recorded and will be available within about a week at that same website where you registered. I'll put up our schedule for this afternoon. So we are here in session B1. And unfortunately, we do not have our University of Montana representative just yet, so we're going to skip right ahead to number 2 and go to Montana State University.
All right, hello everyone, and thanks for joining this afternoon. My name is Caitlin Ryman, and I'm an admissions counselor here at Montana State University. I'm also a recent graduate, so if you have questions about what the student experience is, that's still very fresh in mind. And I am from Spanaway, Washington, so I did have that out-of-state experience coming here to Montana State University. Now I want to really quickly go over these next 6 minutes, things that'll hopefully give you a better idea of what it would be like to be a student here at MSU. And I always like starting about talking about the city of Bozeman, because I think the place that you're going to be living for 4-ish years should be just as good as the university that you're going to. I may be a little bit biased, but I think Bozeman is pretty awesome. We are located in Southwest Montana and have a population of about 60,000. That's including the students here at MSU. So we are a college town through and through. We've also seen a lot of growth, especially these past 10 years. And I always like to brag that we have the best of both worlds, because on one side, we have all the big box stores, events, concerts, and things to do. But what makes Bozeman so special is that we've stayed true to that community aspect. Now, you cannot talk about Bozeman without talking about the outdoor recreation opportunities. We are surrounded by mountains, and so there's lots to do, whether it's skiing and snowboarding at the 2 different resorts that surround us, hiking, mountain biking, or rock climbing, or going fishing on one of the 3 massive rivers around. So lots to do, and we're only about an hour and a half away from Yellowstone National Park. Sits in our backyard, and we utilize it any way that we can. Now, when it comes to Montana State University itself, our enrollment this year was 16,249. This makes us a mid-sized institution nationally, but the largest university here in the state of Montana. And on one end, I always like to say that MSU has all the benefits of a large university, such as the D1 sports and world-class academic and research opportunities. But on the flip side, we see a lot of benefits shine through in the classroom due to our size. Student to faculty ratio is 19:1, average class size is 30, and over 90% of our courses are taught by faculty professors rather than graduate teaching assistants. So you're actually learning from the people who have either dedicated their lives to these trades or doing the research on them now. Now, when it comes to our undergraduate and graduate profile, most of our students are undergrads. This means undergraduate students are getting opportunities that they wouldn't normally elsewhere, their very first semester here on campus and everyone following. But the most unique thing about MSU and what really makes us who we are is that 50% of our students come from out of state. We see students from all 50 states, over 70 different countries, bringing in a lot of different backgrounds, making this a very vibrant campus community. And our students are really active, both on campus and throughout the entire city and world, honestly. We have almost 300 different student clubs and organizations that range from fraternity and sorority life to academic and religious-based clubs, student government. I promise if you're interested in something, there is a community here for you. And again, back to the sports, we do have 13 NCAA Division I sports that range from football and basketball and volleyball all the way over to rodeo and skiing. So lots of ways to get involved and show your Bobcat spirit. When it comes to the academic opportunities, we are classified as an R1 research institution by the Carnegie Foundation, highest level of classification that you can receive when it comes to research. And in 2019, we spent $167 million on research expenditures. Because of all this, we are the only university in the nation who is #1 for our commitment to community engagement, our high undergraduate profile, and our high level of research activity. And what this means for you is that research is actually built into every single major. You have to do some form of research in order to graduate, whether you're a historian, a psychologist, or an engineer. So you have this hands-on experience and are actually able to apply what you're learning in the classroom outside of it. Now, when it comes to our academic offerings, we do have 8 different academic colleges with over 250 programs that are spread throughout each of them. And so there's a lot to choose from. Biggest thing to note is that they're all direct entry, which means you get to start in your program of choice day 1 here at MSU. We really want students to take hold of their academic opportunities, so why wait in taking the classes that you want? We also have an honors college, so if you are interested in more accelerated learning and looking for more research opportunities, that is a great program for students who are looking for that. When it comes to admissions here, we do operate on a rolling admissions basis, which means we don't have any set deadlines for when students need to apply. With that being said, we do encourage students to apply by December of their senior year to ensure nothing else out there might be missed. We don't have any commitment dates. We realize that the college search and experience is already hard enough, so why add all these extra things to it? That means you get to make a decision at a time that works best for you. All of our processes are also non-binding. The biggest thing to note, though, is that we are test optional this year, which means that if you haven't been able to take the ACT or SAT, that is okay. That's one less thing to worry about. We do not need those test scores in order to admit you. Now, when it comes to our scholarships, we do have a lot of different scholarship opportunities available. Some big ones to note is our Achievement Award. This offers anywhere from a couple thousand up to $15,000 per year renewable. And then we also are a part of the Western Undergraduate Exchange, which offers 1.5 times in-state tuition. This is $16,600 off of out-of-state tuition. All of you being from Alaska are eligible to apply for this award. And the big thing again here is that we're test optional for scholarship opportunities as well. So no need to have those test scores in if you haven't been able to take them. And you can check out all of this and more online at our scholarships page, which I encourage you to go and look at. Now, just to kind of wrap this up, I don't think I've ever spoken this fast before. We have a lot of virtual visit opportunities available as well as in-person opportunities. So if you're interested in learning more, please come visit us, both in person or online. We want to meet you. My email and phone number are also on the screen. So if you have any questions that come up, feel free to reach out to me. Other than that, follow us on social media for the most up-to-date information. And as always, go Cats.
Fantastic. And I'm so happy to see that students are already using the Q&A feature. So definitely go ahead and ask questions all throughout these presentations, and then we'll have some time at the end as well for questions. So next up, we will hear from Northern Arizona University.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for having me. My name is Becca. I am your representative for Northern Arizona University, and I'm also an NAU alum. You'll see my contact information on the screen, but as we are getting started, I will also end the presentation with my contact information as well. Now, to introduce you to Northern Arizona University, I'd first like to share a little bit about the Flagstaff area. Flagstaff is definitely a different part of Arizona. We are located about 2 hours north of Phoenix, and we are within a 2.5-hour drive of the Phoenix Sky Harbor Airport. Our community definitely gets its share of snow. We are located on the Colorado Plateau, and we are also within the largest contiguous ponderosa pine forest in the world. Within our community, we have about 100 inches of snow per year, as I mentioned, and that's balanced out by our 264 days of sunshine. And so what's really great about our snow is that it melts a little bit more quickly than the average snowfall around the US. Now, getting to Flagstaff, I mentioned that we were 2 hours north of Flagstaff. We also have our own airport, which services through United and American Airlines as well. And our community is characterized by it being more full of hikers, explorers, and bikers. And we are within a 3-hour drive of 11 different national parks and monuments, including the Grand Canyon. Now, I really get this question a lot, especially from my students that are coming in from Alaska, of is it required for you to live on campus? It is not required for you to live on campus. However, we definitely recommend it if you would like to be able to just adapt to the college life a little bit easier. About 89% of our student population does decide to live on campus overall, and we separate our housing based off of residential colleges. So you get to live among students who are studying the same thing as you, which is really great because not only do you have a built-in study buddy in your roommate, but you're also making friends with folks that you will be entering the career force with. Within our student life, we have over 400 clubs and organizations, and we really value the ability to not only encourage diversity on campus, but to celebrate it and to practice being an inclusive community. And so we are an emerging Hispanic serving institution. We are also a leading institution serving our veteran students, and 46% of our students identify as first generation. We also have within our community a number of different cultures and backgrounds represented, and you can see we have offices that serve our folks too. We also allow no additional charge to our on-campus games, and so if you're wanting to get out and cheer on your Lumberjacks, then you can rest assured that you won't be paying additional charges for tickets for entry to those games. Now switching gears a little bit to our academic excellence, you can see in our university profile that we are known as a medium-sized institution. We have a 19-to-1 student-to-faculty ratio, which means that you have faculty members who are wanting to get involved in helping you be successful, not only as a student, but as you are pursuing your future career. You can see that we have 9 academic colleges overall, and we have nearly 100 different majors for you to choose from. Some of our most popular majors include mechanical engineering, psychological sciences, education, nursing, and biomedical sciences, which is our equivalent to a pre-med major. We also have an honors college as well, and you're welcome to reach out to me with questions about that admissions process. We absolutely encourage our students to get involved in research, and you can get involved in research as early as your sophomore year, and you can showcase your research at our undergraduate symposium. Now, as for our admissions requirements, at the screen, you'll see our 16 core classes that are required for admission to the university. Within these 16 core classes, we create our own GPA for you. It's called an unweighted core GPA, and so it looks just a little bit different than the GPA that's on your transcript. You can see that with a 3.0 core GPA, you are automatically admitted to the university as long as you don't have any deficiencies or missing classes. If you do have a 2.5 and up to 2 missing classes within your 16 core, we will still consider you for admission, but please note that those 2 missing classes cannot be combined in math and science, nor can they be within the same subject area. Now, we also participate in the Western Undergraduate Exchange Program, and you can see that being from Alaska automatically qualifies you. You do not need to meet any sort of minimum GPA requirements, nor are there any program restrictions. The cost of attendance and the transparency of our finances is really important for us to share, and so we have them on the screen listed out for you. Along with our WUWI tuition rate, you'll see our additional costs that are listed, and while your fees, your housing, and your meal plan are charged through your student account for an academic year, your books and supplies are more so an estimate and just something that we want you to be aware of as an additional cost. You can see our Western Undergraduate Exchange Merit Scholarships. When you apply to the university, you are automatically considered for these scholarship opportunities, and you can see them listed on the screen along with their minimum core GPA requirements. These scholarships are automatically applied if you qualify, and with that in mind, they are renewable for up to 4 years, and they are added on top of your WUWI rate. And so it really does add up, especially with that core GPA. Now, just rounding out my presentation, I shared with you that my contact information would be at the last slide. I encourage you to reach out to me should you have any additional questions outside of this short presentation. And I look forward to connecting with you and supporting you throughout your admissions process. Thank you.
Great, thank you. And next we will hear from Colorado State University.
Okay. Sorry about that. All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Heather Daniels, and I am the Director of Admissions at Colorado State University. I also work with students interested in CSU from Alaska, so I'm really excited to be with you today. I wish we were there in Alaska and I wasn't in my living room here in Fort Collins, Colorado, but we make it work. So appreciate you spending time with these great schools this afternoon. The picture that is on the screen right now is actually a pretty accurate view of what campus is looking like right now. The leaves have started to change colors. We've actually already had our first snowfall in Colorado, and this is what it looks like right now. I'll put my contact information up at the end as well. All right, so I want to talk a little bit about our location. Fort Collins, Colorado is located about 1 hour north of Denver, about 1 hour south of the Wyoming border. So we're in the northern part of the state. Fort Collins has about 174,000 people, which makes it the fourth largest city in the state of Colorado. We're known for our amazing downtown area, and of course, similar to the other schools in this panel, access to outdoors. There's definitely a draw to Colorado if you have any interest whatsoever in the outdoors, biking, hiking, snowboarding, skiing, and so forth. And all of that is really accessible to where we're located, right up against the foothills of the Rocky Mountains. A little bit more about Fort Collins. Our downtown area was actually the model for Main Street USA in Disneyland, and that's something that not a lot of people know about, but it makes our downtown a really special place. Campus is located right next to downtown, so it's easily accessible for students as well. So a little bit about our academic programs and a little bit about the institution. So we are considered a large public research institution. We have about 27,000 undergraduate students and then another about 3,000 graduate students. Over 60% of our classes have fewer than 30 students. Amongst our programs, we have 8 different colleges. Within those 8 colleges, we have 74 bachelor degree programs and over 300 academic programs. A lot of students know about Colorado State University because of our veterinary medicine program, also our biomedical sciences, engineering, business. Those are just a handful of the huge number of programs that we do offer at CSU. CSU also is a very active campus. We have over 500 different clubs and organizations. Those range from academic to multicultural, religious, recreational, you name it, we've got it. So it's pretty common for our students on campus to be involved outside of the classroom. We're also part of the NCAA Division I, the Mountain West Conference. We have quite a few varsity sports and just got word that football's coming back. So we have our first football game coming up in just a couple of weeks, which we're really excited about as well. As a large public research institution, we have been ranked consistently in the top 10% of research university-wide. And what we're really excited about most recently is that we've been ranked number 4 in the country as it relates to research specific for COVID and work on the vaccine for COVID. So we're really excited to be a part of those initiatives as well. All right, a little bit about our admissions process. So we work with a common application for the first year application. So that's the only application that you need to submit is the common application. A couple upcoming dates. We do have an early action deadline of December 1st, and then our regular decision deadline is February 1st. Starting this year, we also are test optional, which means we are not using the ACT or the SAT as part of the admission or scholarship decision process. We do offer quite a bit in scholarship opportunities. We also are a member of the WUI program. Students from Alaska are automatically considered for WUI. There are no program requirements for that. It is considered one of our merit scholarships, so we base it on academic profile as well. So that concludes what I wanted to talk about. I'm just going to go back and leave my contact information on the screen for a moment and be happy to answer any questions during the Q&A portion as well. Thanks so much for joining us.
All right, thank you. And so next we will hear from University of Montana Western.
Hello, everyone. My name is Chrissy Stokes. I'm an admissions representative here at Montana Western. So I just wanted to start off by kind of letting you know where Montana Western is located. So we are located in Dillon, Montana, which is in the southwestern corner of the state. It's a fairly small area, which works well for our school itself. Montana Western only has about 1,200 students, and the community of Dillon has actually less than 5,000 people. So we are very close to outdoor activities. We're just minutes away from hiking, biking, skiing, snowboarding, hunting, and fishing. We have a number of ski hills in the area. Maverick Mountain is actually only about 45 minutes from campus, so our students really get to take advantage of that. We also have a lot of clubs and organizations for our students to be a part of, as well as athletic programs. We are a part of the NAIA and NIRA, so our students can participate in men's and women's basketball, volleyball, football, cross country, track, rodeo, and cheer. We have a large number of majors and minors available for our students. So our top 3 programs would be education, biology, and business. With education, we actually have the largest education program in the state of Montana. We are well known for this program. We offer programs or degrees in early childhood, elementary, and secondary ed. With our biology degree, we've had a lot of success with our students getting into medical and veterinary programs to continue on. And with our business program, we actually just added 2 new minors, one in farm and ranch operations, and the other in outdoor guide and wildlife outfitters enterprise management. What makes Montana Western unique is our class schedule. So we are actually the only 4-year public university in the nation that runs on a block schedule that we call Experience 1, or X1 for short. So this is how it works. Our students get to focus on 1 course at a time. Each class only lasts for 3.5 weeks or 18 school days, and they're only in class for 3 hours a day. Our students also are earning 4 credits apiece for each class, getting 16 credits each semester, which does keep them on track for graduating within 4 years. So comparing that to a traditional semester where students have to take like 4 or 5 classes all at once, having a different schedule each day of the week, our students do not have to worry about that. It really is a simple process where they're learning 1 subject from 1 professor and only have to worry about 1 final at a time. So they don't have to worry about juggling too many different things at once. They actually get to learn and focus on hands-on learning. They don't have to worry about just sitting in a classroom, listening to lectures and taking notes. And we're able to cap all of our classes at 25. Our average class size is 15. So our students really get to know their professor and the other students in their classes really well. Now moving on to the cost of attendance side of things. This is a look at what it costs for in-state, out-of-state, and WUI qualified students. We also participate in the WUI program. So in order to qualify for the WUI scholarship here at Montana Western, you just have to be from a participating state, which of course Alaska is one of those, and you have to have a 3.0 GPA or higher coming out of high school. You do not have to apply separately for the WUI scholarship. It's automatically given to you if you meet that GPA requirement, and it will save you more than $9,000 a year. So instead of paying just under $25,000 a year for the out-of-state tuition, fees, and room and board, you pay just over $15,000 a year. Our students can also use the FAFSA process and earn other scholarships to help pay for their education. So of course, the FAFSA opened on October 1st. Our priority deadline is December 1st. And then our scholarship application opens up on November 1st, and our priority deadline for the scholarships is January 15th. We are inviting students to come and visit campus. So if they are able to do that, they can schedule a visit most weekdays at 9 a.m. and 1 p.m. You can go onto this link right here to go online and see what is available for the times. And if it doesn't work for you to come and visit campus, we totally understand. So if that happens, feel free to reach out to us about virtual visits. We will set up a Zoom call or a phone call so that we can answer more questions you have about the application process, about Montana Western itself, about our programs, anything we can do to help you through this process. And lastly, here is my contact information, my office phone number and my email address. Feel free to reach out to me with any questions you might have. I'd be happy to help you through this. Thanks for joining us today.
Fantastic. And our last school for this session is Fort Lewis College, and then we will have plenty of time for more questions.
All right. Hey, y'all. Thanks again for being here and tuning in to listen to about all these amazing colleges. My name is Adam Richley, and I am the regional admission counselor for Fort Lewis College. And to start off, just wanted to touch base on where we are located. So we are in Durango, Colorado. We are in the southwest corner of the state. And kind of famous, the area is called the Four Corners, where Colorado, Utah, New Mexico, and Arizona meet. The one unique thing about us is we actually are located up on top of this mesa, and we overlook the entire Animas Valley and the town of Durango. Some other stuff about Durango. As of right now, we're sitting about 18,000 people within the city limits. 300 miles of hiking and biking trails from campus, free city bus service with your Fort Lewis ID. We do have our own regional airport, which is about a 20-minute drive from campus, a couple hospitals, a few urgent care locations. One of the unique things that we just did is we partnered with Purgatory Ski Resort. And so all incoming freshmen actually get a free season pass to our to Purgatory Ski Resort, which is about a 20-minute drive from campus. So like the rest of all these amazing institutions, the outdoors are right at your fingertips, right out your back door. With us, we are this smaller kind of mountain town, but it still has that fun hustle and bustle to it due to the tourism. So a little bit about Fort Lewis College. So we are one of the smaller four-year public schools in the state of Colorado right now. We're sitting about 3,500 students, sitting about 6,800 feet campus elevation. We are very proud of our diversity on campus. So 47 states represented, 53% students of color, and 173 Native American tribes and Alaska Native villages represented on campus. Average class size, we're sitting about 23, and 75% of classes are actually going to be under 30 students. And so with that 16-to-1 student to faculty ratio, hands-on learning and that personalized attention is something that our professors really wanted to focus on. And 100% of classes are taught by the faculty members rather than graduate students. And so what they really want to do is really get to know you. They want to be a mentor, and they want to hold you accountable. And so you really are working with doctorate level professors in the classroom, outside the classroom, tutor sessions, office hours, whatever it is, to be able to build those lifelong relationships with these faculty. Wanted to put this up here. So here's all our areas of study. Some of our signature programs include business administration, our health sciences, communication, physics and engineering, and some of our place-based programs that just thrive in our area are anthropology, biology, and geology. All right, the FLC difference. So whether it's the natural or social sciences, business or education, at FLC, our hands-on experiential learning approach to your academic brings the classroom into the world. Whether you are spending summer on an archaeological dig or conducting ethnographic field work in East Africa, designing and building humanitarian projects in developing nations, or developing entrepreneurship skills to compete to win a franchise store as part of your class at FLC, you will learn by doing. And so our hands-on learning opportunities lend to your ability to learn not only inside, but outside the classroom as well. All right, so getting involved is something that everyone's going to push on you because it's true. You want to like kind of put yourself out there. And so for us, 60 plus clubs on campus right now, ranging from the beekeeping club to skydiving club to our newest one is Keeping Women Wild. And it's these outdoor enthusiast ladies that just love the rock climbing and hiking and ice climbing and rafting and whatever it is. 50 plus events on campus, from our theater productions to choir to our athletic events. And athletic wise, we have 14 NCAA Division II sports. We are part of the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference, 16 intercollegiate club sports, and then 22 intramural sports as well. Go Skyhawks. For first-year scholarship and aid, we do offer merit scholarships, and we did go test optional this year. So once you apply and you send in a transcript based off of your GPA, you could qualify for a merit scholarship. As you can see here, if you're at least at a 3.0, you can qualify for an out-of-state merit scholarship. We are also part of the WUI program, so the Western Undergraduate Exchange. So that's sitting at about a $7,000 scholarship. And some more ways to save. One that we're definitely known for is our Native American tuition waiver. So if you're a part of a federally recognized tribe or Alaska Village, you could qualify for free tuition the entire time you are on campus. We are offering some opportunities to visit campus, so we are offering campus tours along with some open houses. And then of course we have our virtual info sessions, campus tours, and if you wanted to have a virtual one-on-one chat with me, I'm available for that as well. So here's my contact, and if you would like to apply online on our website, you can use my APTE waiver code right there, all capitals, FLC apply. Thanks, y'all.
All right, everyone. So I'm going to mute myself for a moment as the sirens go by. Then I'm going to just encourage all of our panelists to turn on their videos. And we do have a bit of time since one of our panelists wasn't able to attend this afternoon. So feel free to dig into those Q&As in the Q&A box right there. And then while we have some of our panelists typing those questions, I just want to pose a question to the entire group here to just go in presentation order and let everybody know just maybe something that's unique or special about your school, a special tradition, anything that that you really love about your institution, or if there's something that you didn't get a chance to mention in your presentation, now is the time. And for all of our students, feel free to drop all those questions in the Q&A box while we're doing this. So I believe so we can go back to our first school for this hour.
So I always love talking about fun facts. One of them at MSU is you just really bleed blue and gold, you meet the love of your life here, you can actually get married in our non-denominational chapel here, and you can have Champ, our mascot, officiate it. So I always just think that's so funny, but that's what I got.
I don't know if I can beat that one. So for Northern Arizona University, we were actually founded in 1899 as the Arizona Normal School. We had a little over 20 students and 1 copy of the Webster's Dictionary, and we still hold the only national accreditation for educating teachers in the state of Arizona. So not as fun as having a mascot at a wedding, but pretty cool history.
The fun fact I'd like to share about Colorado State University is that we are actually the partner institution for Semester at Sea. And the reason I think that's fun is because we are a landlocked state, and so that ship will actually never come to campus, and students can participate in Semester at Sea from any institution. They don't have to be CSU students, but while students are participating in that program, they earn credits from Colorado State University, and there's a great advantage for CSU students to participate in as well. And for those of you that don't know what Semester at Sea is, it's an abroad program where you essentially live on a cruise ship and travel around the world and have different ports throughout your time abroad.
At Montana Western, we have a really cool program to help get our students involved on campus. It's called Paw Prints for Success. Our mascot is the bulldog, and so it's an opportunity for our students to participate in anything on campus, whether it's going to an athletic event or going to a club meeting or club event, or even just studying in our tutoring center or the library. They can earn points or paw prints And then at the end of each semester, they can take those points and bid on items at an auction. So students can win things like TVs, gaming systems, laptops, even $500 scholarships. And so they leave with some pretty cool prizes, but they didn't have to put any money into it. It was just their time that they put into it. So it's a really great way for our students to get involved without having to spend any money.
At Fort Lewis, we have a fun little partnership that we just did. So we partnered with Rocky Mountain Chocolate Factory with our School of Business. And so if you're in the School of Business and you're interested in entrepreneurship, it's an opportunity to basically, when you graduate, be given your own franchise of Rocky Mountain Chocolate Factory. So if you're into chocolate, here's an opportunity to own your own chocolate store.
That's always my favorite part of these presentations is hearing all of you guys get all excited about your school's little quirks and special traditions. So we have, again, about 10 minutes and there's still questions coming in. So feel free for our reps to type your answers, or if there's anything that you'd like to address on air, as it were, feel free to read out those questions as well.
Can I answer the question about the 2.0 GPA? I think it might be helpful just to talk a little bit about how that might work at each of our institutions, because I know it all varies a little bit. And at least for us at Colorado State University, we don't actually look at a minimum GPA. There's a lot of different factors that will go into a student's application for admission. So many of us have moved towards becoming test optional so that ACT or SAT may not play a bigger role as it has in the past. So a 2.0, that 2.0 could mean a lot of different things for a student. Maybe it meant that high school got off to a rough start, but there's been this upward trend since then. Or maybe it means high school was off to a really strong start and then something's happened later throughout high school. So what's always helpful for us is to have a little bit more context behind what that 2.0 might look like. When we're evaluating transcripts, we're looking at the classes that you've taken, how you've done in those classes, if you have maximized the rigor and the opportunities that your high school might offer. And within our application for admission, there's actually a place for you to provide an academic explanation where you can give a little bit more of that context. I don't know if anyone else wants to share about that, but I feel like it was hard to answer that question in a type.
At Montana Western, students are definitely able to get in with a 2.0 GPA. We are very lucky in the fact that we have our 2-year programs under the same umbrella as our 4-year programs. So students can start off in our 2-year programs and build directly into the 4-year without skipping a beat. So it is very possible for students to come in even with a 2.0 and be very successful here at Montana Western.
Yeah, so for Northern Arizona University, while we do have that minimum core GPA based off of the 16 core classes, we also have a partnership with all of the accredited community colleges in the state of Arizona. And so if you want to be in Arizona and if you want to be in Flagstaff in particular, we have a partnership with the community college that is less than a mile off of South Campus. And students who are participating in what we call our 2 NAU program can still live on campus while they are participating in that program and maybe starting out at the local community college and then preparing to transfer to NAU. So we do still have resources for folks who are just below that core GPA requirement and ways to support you.
At Montana State University, when it comes to admittance and requirements, students are automatically admitted as long as they have one of 4 requirements. That's either a 2.5 GPA, a 22 on the ACT, 1120 SAT, or rank in the top half of their graduating class. So if you have at least one of those 4s, it's sort of automatic consideration. If you don't, though, we do still encourage students to apply because we do have very similar processes to a lot of these other universities and programs that can help students throughout their entire collegiate career.
And at Fort Lewis, we are a holistic review institution. So even with a 2.0, you would go to a committee review basically. And so that's where maybe a letter of recommendation or an essay about yourself would come into play. And that's what we would look into as well.
So we had another student send in a question about, and they stated what other campuses offer foreign travel or a semester at sea. And I was typing out my question, but it's taking me a lot longer to type than it is to just answer. So I thought I'd hop on here. NAU is ranked 7th in the nation for our long-term study abroad programs, meaning that our students typically choose to study abroad for an entire year. While that is absolutely not required, I know for me as an undergrad, that might've been a little scary. We do have summer, winter, and we have different travel abroad options that are student exchange. So if studying abroad, maybe to Europe or to Latin America, like some, would be a little bit too far for you, you can also study abroad in the United States or Canada. And so we also have a nationally recognized interdisciplinary global programs. It's for our STEM and our business majors. And this is a 5-year program, but it's awesome, and you graduate with 2 degrees. And so a little easier. I don't know if anyone else wants to hop on that question as well.
At Montana Western, we have a unique way of doing the study abroad opportunities. So since we're a small school, we can't offer all of our classes as often as we would like. So students that were gone for an entire semester, we're kind of missing out on the classes they needed in order to graduate on time. So therefore, our students can actually go to another country to study for 1 block. So they just go for 3.5 weeks, and it's completely ran through Montana Western. So they're going with our professors, other Montana Western students, and it's not messing up their other class schedule. So it brings that cost down quite a bit and makes it possible for a lot of students to participate in it.
I just saw the question about the test optional and thought that might be helpful for each of us to talk a little bit about that, because that's a pretty hot topic right now. So I can at least start it out. In the state of Colorado, which Adam, he would know this as well. So for us in Colorado, we, up until this year, were required to require either the ACT or SAT as part of the admissions process. Because of COVID, we were given this 1-year grace period. So for fall 21, we are not requiring the ACT or the SAT. I know a lot of us across the state of Colorado hope that that extends beyond fall 21. And so some of us are even operating with that intention and may require it as part of a final piece of the application, but not necessarily required as part of the review process. So for us here in Colorado, at least, it's a 1 year, and hopeful that it's beyond fall 21.
Heather, I'm so glad you kicked that off, because I was going to suggest that that might be a question that everybody would want to answer.
Well, at Montana State University, really, we are just kind of seeing as we go. If we continue to see that students aren't able to get into their exams across the country, we will not continue requiring that as we go forward throughout the years. And so we want to ensure that we can accommodate students, and that students who aren't able to take these exams are not at a disadvantage when it comes to admissions and/or scholarship opportunities.
Yeah, as of right now, the Montana University system, which encompasses all of the public schools in Montana, we are test optional through the fall 2021 semester, and that could be pushed out if we see the need to do that.
So I can't speak for all of the public institutions in Arizona, so I would definitely recommend, if you're interested in our sibling institutions, to check them out and what their policies are. But NAU actually went test score optional before the ongoing pandemic began. And so with that in mind, we plan to remain that way, just as a move for accessibility for our students.
All right, and with that, we are just about at time for this session. I know there was one question in there about online learning. So if you have a couple questions that we didn't get to, don't worry. All of the reps will have your contact info, and they'll be able to follow up with you and answer all your questions that you might have. So I want to thank everybody, all of our panelists and our students, for joining us today. When you close this window, you will see a quick 4-question survey link. We'd appreciate any feedback that you can provide. And again, this is just one of many sessions being hosted. There's another one starting in just 15 minutes. So I'm sure I'll see some of you there, and be sure to sign up for additional sessions. And in about a week, you'll be able to find this session's recording as well as all of the other session recordings at the website where you registered. So I want to say thank you again to all of our presenters. They did a great job with their presentations and with all of those questions. And thank you again to the participants. I'll see some of you in a few minutes, and to everybody else, have a great day.